So when did you get issued your rifle?
It was in the academy. I believe it was week 16 or 17. I couldn't tell you the exact date of that, so.
Okay. You said it was like week 17?
Week 16, 17, something around there, yeah.
Deputy Jacob Zamora walked into the Albuquerque Police Department thinking he was only there to answer questions. But investigators already knew his department-issued AR-15 had been tied to a New Year's Day homicide. He admitted he kept the rifle unsecured on the floorboard of his personal truck for months and never reported it missing, even after realizing it had disappeared back in November. Under New Mexico Statute Section 30-7-16, negligent use or unsafe handling of a firearm can expose a person to criminal liability when reckless conduct places others in danger. Detectives quickly realized the deputy had ignored basic firearm security training while trying to avoid getting caught by his supervisors.
Nice to meet you. We'll go our side. I don't know if you know where our side is, but it's on. Sure. Okay, we'll go to the other side. Okay, so I don't know how much your chain of command or whoever you spoke to told you about what's going on.
Okay.
Did they tell you anything?
From what my captain told me was that my patrol-issued rifle was used in a homicide.
Okay.
That's basically all they told me at this time.
Okay. And I'm sorry, remind me of your name again?
Jacob Zamora.
Okay, so because of the circumstances of the firearm, I'm going to have to read you Miranda.
Right.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to talk with an attorney before and during questioning, and have that attorney present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you at no cost to you before any questioning. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, I do.
Would you like to speak to us with those in mind?
Yeah, I'll speak to you guys.
Okay. Let me just get some basic information. Okay. I was going to say, it stomps you to here every day is a long drive.
So yeah, that's the main reason I came down here.
Yeah, quite the trek. Good. What's a good phone number?
505-553-4611.
4611. Okay. How long have you been with BCSO?
About 10 months now.
10 months. Okay. And was that including the academy?
Including the academy, yes.
Okay. So how long have you been out of the academy?
Since October, about 5 months.
Since October.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months, yeah.
And was any of that like OJT or?
No, I don't think so.
That's just you being on your own since October?
2 weeks of that. I've been on my own for 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay, so you were with a training officer from October to February? Okay.
Yeah, give or take.
Okay, gotcha. And then you've been on your own 2 weeks, you said?
Yeah, for about 2 weeks.
The interview became even worse when Zamora admitted he suspected the rifle may have been stolen, but still kept silent for nearly 2 months. Investigators learned he parked on public streets, left one truck door unable to properly lock, and stored the AR-15 without a case or safe, despite academy training requiring secure firearm storage. According to Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office policy, deputies are required to immediately report lost, stolen, or missing department-issued weapons to supervisors and law enforcement. Instead of reporting the rifle missing, Zamora allegedly searched both houses quietly while hoping the problem would disappear before anyone noticed.
So when did you get issued your rifle?
It was in the academy. I believe it was week 16 or 17. I couldn't tell you the exact date of that, so.
Okay. You said it was like week 17?
Week 16, 17, something around there, yeah.
What does it look like?
It is a black AR-15 style rifle.
Okay.
Has a a gray sling on it. It's all black, has a black optic on top, and then it has a black flashlight on the side as well.
Do you know what kind of what the make of the flashlight is?
The make of the flashlight?
Or the optic?
The optic, I'm pretty sure it's a Vortex optic. The light, I'm not too sure exactly what brand it is.
Okay. And you said it had a gray sling?
It had a gray sling, yes.
Okay. Was there anything on it that you, like anything you put on yourself that was a department issue?
Not on that rifle, no.
Okay. Anything, like any engravings or anything that would like stick out?
No, I didn't do anything additional to that rifle once I got it.
Okay. When you had the rifle, where were you staying? Was that with your girlfriend or were you staying at your house?
At my girlfriend's house. But over the weekends, like my weekends, I would go home, spend time with my family there, and then I would come back to town for shift.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. So you were kind of back and forth, but would you say you mostly stayed at your
Mostly
house?
here in town, yeah.
Okay. So you got issued that in the academy. How did you store that from then until now, until you had a unit?
From then, I kept it inside the back seat of my truck.
Of your personal vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. How did you have it in the back seat?
I had it like laying on the floorboard.
Okay. Was it in a case or anything?
No.
Okay. So it was used in a homicide that occurred in January.
Okay.
What was your knowledge of your rifle at that time in January?
Back in, I would say beginning of November when we did our last range qualifications.
Okay.
That was the last time that I know for a fact I had possession of my rifle. Because I remember after the range, I went home over the weekend. I came back to town. That morning before shift, I was getting all of my stuff ready for the day, and I noticed my rifle wasn't in my truck. At that time, I thought I just misplaced it, and I've kind of been like tearing my house apart, looking all for it since.
Okay, so that you guys called November, you said?
Yes.
Do you like beginning, middle?
Beginning of November. I believe it was November 6th or 7th.
Let me see, I can pull up the calendar if that helps.
When did you start the academy?
May 4th, I believe, yes.
Okay, so here's November 25, and you said like around here, 6 or 7?
Yeah, because I believe it was a Thursday, so yeah, probably
The
November
6th.
6th, yeah.
Okay. And where were you staying that day?
That day I was at my girlfriend's house.
So the night of the 6th, you stayed at her house.
Yes.
Then the 7th was a Friday.
Yes.
What'd you do that day?
That day I went back home to Estancia.
Okay.
I stayed there that day and the next day. And then the
Saturday.
next morning, I believe Sunday morning, I came back into town for shift.
Okay. And then the 6th was the last time you used it.
Yes.
For the qual. Did you see it after you got to your girlfriend's house that night?
After I got, usually what I do after shift is I always leave it in my truck. Then I lock my truck and then I go inside. So that would have been the last time I've seen it. Like once I put it in my truck after the range and I took it home.
Okay. When you went, did you drive your truck to Estancia that next day?
Yes, that next morning.
And did you see it at all during your time in Estancia?
Well, when I got back into my truck that morning to head back into town.
On the 9th?
Yeah, I noticed it wasn't there.
Okay. Okay.
So that's Sunday?
Yes, Sunday morning.
So Sunday morning, was it the 8th?
The 9th.
The 9th?
Mm.
So that's the point where you noticed it was gone.
Yes.
Okay. And you said you leave it in your truck, lock your truck, and usually go in.
Yes.
Did you notice any damage to your truck at all or anything?
I didn't notice any damage to my truck, but there is one thing, my rear driver's side door, it doesn't lock automatically with the key fob.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to automatically open the door and push the locking mechanism down. So there could be a chance that maybe I forgot to do that one day. So
Okay.
As detectives pressed harder, Zamora admitted he never informed his chain of command because he thought he had simply misplaced the rifle somewhere inside his home. That explanation collapsed once investigators discovered the weapon's lower receiver had been recovered after a deadly downtown Albuquerque shooting involving suspects Peyton Reagan and Dominic Martinez. Under federal firearm tracing procedures enforced by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, serialized lower receivers are legally recognized as the firearm itself and can be traced directly to the registered agency or owner. The moment ATF traced the serial number back to Bernalillo County, the sheriff's office realized one of its own deputies had hidden the disappearance of a department rifle that ended up connected to murder.
Where do you park at in Estancia? Is that, I assume that's a home?
Yes. Yeah, it's a home, and then we have quite a big property around it, so we have our own driveway and stuff, our paved driveway, and that's where I usually park right in front of the house. So.
Like outside of the house?
Yes.
Where do you park at your girlfriend's?
Usually I kind of park right on the street because she has a little driveway and a garage, so
Okay.
not really enough room for me to park on there. So I park right in front of the house on the curb on the street.
Okay. Is there any cameras at her house or at your family's house?
No, there's not any. I mean, I know my girlfriend has a Ring camera.
Okay.
That's all I know of. So
She has just a doorbell?
yeah.
Would that capture where you park?
I think it would capture where I park. It's at least like a small picture of my vehicle. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure like how much of it would capture, but yeah, a good amount.
So since you noticed it missing on the 9th, what have you done?
Like I said, at that time, I figured I had just misplaced it, and I've kind of been looking all over both houses trying to find it, and I've been unlucky with that, obviously. So,
Okay. Did you tell your chain of command that it was missing?
I did not tell him that it was missing because, like I said, the fact I thought that I had just misplaced it, I didn't want to make that much of a big deal about it at the time if I had just misplaced it somewhere in my house. So.
Did you ever take it inside of your house? Because you said you'd leave it in your truck. Did you ever take it inside, or would you ever?
At times to clean it, like during the academy when we were shooting it, I would take it inside my house to clean it, but then I'd put it right back in my truck.
Okay. Why wouldn't you store it inside?
I mean, we don't have a safe in the house, so I mean, I just didn't think to put it in there. The truck was the best place for me to put it at the time, I thought, so.
Okay. What did they teach you in the academy about storing your firearms?
They told us to put it in a secure place to make sure it was always safe, so yes, that is a mistake on my part. I should have put it in a safe or something like that. I should have made sure it was secure.
Yeah, for sure. Was anything else missing from your truck?
Not that I know of, no.
So when you noticed it missing, you said you've been looking for it. Did you ever think that it may have been stolen or taken?
I mean, that thought had crossed my mind a couple times, but the fact that something like that's never really happened to me and that I usually take really good care of my stuff, I just didn't really consider that a possibility at the time.
Have you always lived in Estancia?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a pretty small area.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot of vehicle thefts there, right? Okay.
So so just so I understand, what kind of personal vehicle do you have?
I have a Dodge Ram 1500.
What year?
I believe 2010 or 11.
So you said is it a 2-door or 4-door?
4-door.
4-door.
Is that what you drove here?
Yes.
So that's, you said one of the doors, the locking mechanism is not functioning?
Yes, the rear driver's side.
Rear driver's side? And it's always been that way?
Since I bought it, yes.
How long have you had it?
I bought it about 2 years ago in October.
so it has, the vehicle has a fob that you can
lock
press
it.
and it just locks the doors, but
Yes.
the rear driver's side does not. You have to manually.
You have to manually go in there and push the pin, yes.
Okay. And you're speculating that maybe you didn't do that.
That's what I believe, yes.
Do you know? We'll walk out and
Okay.
double check it. Just, yeah. But you didn't see anything else disturbed?
No, I didn't see anything else missing in the truck.
Where do you store your handgun?
My handgun, I usually leave that on my utility belt and I leave it inside, so.
So is it, you have your duty issue handgun?
I don't have it right now.
But you, like it's...
At the time, yes, I had. No, it's not missing.
Any other gear missing? Or that you left in?
No, not that I know of. Nothing else is missing.
Okay.
Do you store any other Bernalillo County issued gear in your truck along with your rifle?
No, I did not store anything else in there.
Like extra mags, anything like that?
I might have had some extra magazines in there for my rifle.
Were those accounted for, or?
I still have, well, whenever they...
The fallout destroyed Zamora's law enforcement career almost immediately after the truth surfaced. Bernalillo County Sheriff John Allen confirmed that Zamora was fired on April 7, 2026, after investigators concluded he failed to report the stolen rifle and allegedly replaced it with his own AR-15 so supervisors would not discover the missing weapon. According to New Mexico law enforcement standards and departmental conduct rules, dishonesty, failure to safeguard issued weapons, and failure to report critical incidents can justify immediate termination of an officer. Reports from Albuquerque media later revealed the homicide weapon had been used in the killing of 25-year-old Alexander Wilson during a New Year's Day shooting downtown. Sheriff Allen publicly criticized Zamora for leaving the rifle unsecured in his truck and ignoring the training he received in the academy. As of the latest update, Albuquerque Police and the Bernalillo County District Attorney's Office were still reviewing whether criminal charges would also be filed against the former deputy.